All right, so once we know what percents are per 100, we can find the percent of a number. So anytime you see this word percent of a number, anytime you see that word of, that means you're multiplying, okay? Of always means multiply. We talked about that when we were doing word problems and kind of figuring out what operation we were doing. So let's go ahead and jump into these. I do have my calculator. You are going to want that. So you're going to need a calculator for some of this. Some of it, you're going to still need your calculator, but we're going to learn how to do it with proportions like what we did with the last chapter. So the first step we want to do here is we want to look at this 25% and we want to make it into a decimal. The easiest way to do that, like I said before, is we take from the percent symbol, we move 2 decimal spots. So I have 0.25. That word of means that I multiply 80. So now I have my operation. I'm going to do 0.25 times 80 equals 20. So 25% of 80 is 20. So that's it. Okay, we're just multiplying. We're taking the percentage, moving it into a decimal form, and then of means I multiply by the number that they give me. So I do notice though that I am still writing down what I plug into the calculator. Okay, this is very important for those of you who tend to forget to show your work. I still need to see this. Even if you're doing your information or you're writing your information into a Google Doc and you're submitting that, I still want to see your process. I want to see what you did. Because if you moved the decimal spot to the wrong place or you did your multiplication wrong, I want to be able to see that. So I need to see what you did. Again, let's go ahead and go for some other examples. I have 80%, so I move the decimal spot away from the percent symbol. Oops, I have 0.80 or just 0.8. Of means I multiply 65. So I'm going to say 0.8 or 0.80 times 65, and I get 52. So 52 is 80% of 65. Let's go ahead and go through a couple other ones. Here's something that's a little bit different. Let's say I have 2%. Again, I'm not going to say 0.2. I have to fill in a spot because I have to move it 2 spots. So it's 0.02 of 29. So I'm going to say 0.02 times 29 equals, and I am going to get a decimal, and that's okay. I don't want to cut this off. I don't want to simplify it. I don't want to round. I want to give what your calculator gives you. It should not be any longer than that. So we want to give the whole thing. I'm not going to say 0.6 or anything like that. I am going to say 0.58 because that's what it gives me. Now here, I don't want to move my decimal from the percent because I already have a decimal. So I still have to move my decimal 2 spots. So this is going to be a very large decimal. Because it was a percentage already and it had a decimal, that means I'm going to have a very, very small number. Okay, 0.0078 of 835. Now I'm ready to plug that into my calculator. So I say 0.0078 times 835 equals, and I'm going to get 6.513. And it's okay to come up with a smaller number. It should be a smaller number. This is less than 1%. Remember, 1% is 1 out of 100. So if 1 out of 100, I have less than that, I should have a very small number. So notice I can't have 2 decimals in the number. I didn't have 0.00.78. I moved the decimal, so it's 0.0078 of 835. Now let's say I'm going to take some of the ones from your back side, the PW side, and let's say I use it as a proportion. So I'm going to have this 2% of 40. Now we know that I could make this 0.02 times 40, but it says to use proportions. So this is where we have one fraction equaling another fraction. We just did this last week. So 2% is 2/100, and I want to know of 40. So that's going to go on the bottom. I'll have an X here. So now I'm going to multiply like I did before. 2 times 40 is 80, and then 100 times X. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 100 to get that X by itself. Now I say 80 divided by 100. I should get 0.8. So that X is going to equal 0.8. What is 2% of 40? It's 0.8. Now, if I did this 0.02 times 40, I'd get that same answer, but I want to be able to show the proportion. So for this section of your worksheet, I need to see proportions because it says specifically to use a proportion to solve it. So let's try one more, and then we'll be done with today's. Let's say 25% of 24. So 25% means per 100 of 24. So my x is going to go on top. Now I'm going to multiply across. 25 times 24 is going to give me 600. And that's going to equal 100x. Oops. 100x. Now I divide both sides by 100 to get the x by itself. And 600 divided by 100 is going to be 6. So what is 25% of 24? It is 6. Now it's asking me what percent of a number. It's not going to ask me to make this 6%. I already have a percent symbol up here. So we're just looking for the number itself. Do not label that with a percent symbol. We're just looking for a number, okay? It doesn't ask you to give a percentage. You're already given a percentage and you only see a percent symbol one time per problem, okay? We've done a couple of examples actually from your work. So your assignment is going to be PW side 116. You're going to do numbers 1 through 24 all. I know that seems like a lot, but we just did some of them together. I believe in you. Do not forget to show your work, okay? Good luck.